Hello. By the way, before I start this video, just if you've been watching these videos and you like them and you want to engage with me some more in discussion or just doing this inner work on Ascension, I started a group on MeWe. So I'll add a link in the description. And yeah, I look forward to collaborating and working with people closer on our ascension. So I felt another desire to make another video, something that I'm processing today. Every day is something. So the theme that's coming up to me today is, will you stick to your truth at the risk of losing everything? And there was a pastor that I was listening to yesterday who was speaking on that topic as well. Like, will you be like, he was talking about the Bible prophecy about the mark of the beast coming in, that people are willing to take on this mark of the beast. And he was actually saying this in 2014, that even Christians or believers in the prophecy will still take the mark of the beast to feel secure and ignore the truth. So today that theme is coming up for me of, will you stick to your truth no matter what? So the way it's coming up for me is, so I've been doing certain kind of work with my clients, particularly targeting people who have a stutter or just difficulty with expressing themselves. And I do breath work, and I do kind of becoming more aware of where your thoughts are, your emotions, feelings. And so I had a client that just kind of messaged me, like an old client that haven't worked with in a while. He just messaged me for one session. He just wanted like a quick one. And he wanted my feedback, and I told him, I gave him my feedback. The only thing is he did not like it because it was targeting his emotions, like how much is he controlling his emotions so that they don't go in either directions, negative or positive. So I pointed it out, and like at first he was like answering, like I usually like do it in question, like I ask questions, like just to get to understand it more. And he was answering, and then I was just giving him some more of my perspective, and he got really defensive about it. He's like, this is not what I wanted. I'm really upset now. This is not how I wanted the session to go. So clearly, like, he had a certain thing in mind, and it just kind of seemed like control, right? Control of the session, control of my self-expression. And I had this inkling, like, before we started, will I be able to go fully truthful with him? Because since last time I worked with him, I've changed a lot, I think last time I worked with him was before my awakening. So since my awakening, I've been stepping further and further and further into my truth. And when I work with clients, I just tell them how I see it. I don't sugarcoat anything. And I don't hold back anything. I might sometimes like not say it because I feel like they're not ready. It might be too much. I didn't tell him everything that I saw. But at some point, I still tell them. Like, if we continue working together, I still tell them because I feel it out and like, okay, they're ready for it now. So I told him and he got really defensive. So then, of course, at the end, it triggered me. My state, like, okay, will I lose this client now? Will he complain on me to my employer, the owner of the company? Like, what are the consequences of this, of me speaking my truth? And it was like, it wasn't like I was pushing it. It's like he asked me for it. So I think this is kind of a small example, but it is like an example of and it is triggering my other emotions, like being liked. If I speak my truth, right, to my client, it did trigger like, oh, I'm not liked. Because I got so used to also a lot of clients liking this approach. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of blew up in my face. And it happened also for my own private practice. I had a client, it was like my first client, um, and it was also a child who stutters. And I'm like, okay, this is my thing, right? And then the mom just kind of exploded on me, like she projected a lot of her own triggers. And after like a few sessions of working with me, so it's like, oh, this is like, am I going to be successful in this? Am I even on the right track? Should I just stop? Even though like I've had positive feedback from clients. This self-belief. Um, yeah, like being fully in your power and honesty, and being fully like not holding back. But it also involves just seeing things quickly. Because before, like, it wasn't this sharp. So it's like the more you step into your power, the sight becomes more and more precise. Um, you just notice more, and it's like, yeah, it's like I think people get annoyed and frustrated because it's like, well, I'm just being honest. But it's like people don't want you to see things about themselves. Um, so this is kind of it's triggered a lot of things for me. Like, what am I gonna lose now? Am I gonna lose my job? Am I gonna get scolded by an employer? Am I gonna lose the client? Is he gonna complain on me and affect my reputation? Maybe a rating, like they'll write it like a bad rating, um, these type of things. And I had another client last week. It was a parent of a child, and it was because I told the child a few sessions back, because of his behavior, I was like, I had to like talk to him every 30 seconds or every minute about his behavior. And at some point, I was just like, this is disrespectful. So the child told the mom, and the mom, like, instead of correcting the child, she was correcting me, saying like, that saying something like that makes it sound like I'm elitist, or like I'm doing him a favor. Like, no, I'm the instructor and I'm the teacher, and there's has to be a certain decorum and a certain expectation in these sessions. um, Even though I'm being paid for it. But it's like, if you're reaching out for service, it shouldn't be a certain kind of dynamic with respect. So it's that, but it's like, I didn't get like in trouble with, like, I didn't hear anything from the employer, like nothing negative at all. Nobody like reprimanded me or anything like that, or told me like, don't talk to kids like that. Um, but I had like a similar trigger, like, um, am I wrong? It's kind of like, am I wrong? Like all this time, like just going with my feeling, my gut. Am I still in the wrong? Um, even though clearly I think like mom was crazy, and like the sessions themselves, like each one were just like really stressful on me. And I actually reached out to my employer ahead of this, even before I knew this was going to happen. Like these sessions are just overly stressful for me. I need to do something. And then the mom sends this email. So it's like a lot of times it's like I know it's not me, but the trigger, of the insecurity is being triggered now. So, and I think I'm being tested. Like, what are you willing to lose to speak the truth? And I think, like, I mean, I'm not much a reader in the Bible, but from like reading, listen to other people's interpretation of it, like in the Bible, a lot of times that's a common theme where even at losing your life, you still stick to your truth. And the pastor yesterday was also saying that he was saying this in 2014. And when the mark of the beast comes, we're going to keep being pushed and pushed and pushed to succumb and accept whatever is being forced on us. And he was saying, like, how much are you willing to lose to stick to your guns, like to your truth? So like right now, this session was like a little trial of that, and it's hard. Like I'm sitting with it to release it, but I can feel it in my heart, and um, and the session from last week, I'm still feeling it. I'm still processing it. So I guess it's also gives me a perspective. Like I understand why so many people are getting the vaccine. It's really hard, but very important, I think, to just continue in the direction of the truth.